What's up, everybody? 300 in the house. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. Uh, yeah, I do have some news, that I would like to talk about, wildfire, Hurricane Hillary, and I'm not sure if anybody is aware of what BA 2.86 is, but I will talk about this. So let's head to the wildfire first. So as you guys know, there are a bunch of wildfires going on lately. Uh, we had one in Texas, in the Houston area. Also, the wildfire in Canada, and we had some in Hawaii. So it is a lot of wildfire going on, and I hope you are aware that that's going to affect the weather. Uh, we're going to see um, more disasters, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions. We're going to see more volcanic eruptions. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to see more volcanic eruptions. Um, in Italy, another volcano just erupted. And let's take a look at Hurricane Hillary. So now the last hurricane Southern California had was actually 84 years ago. Um, so I am not sure if you are aware of this, but um, there is more disasters on the way. So please keep prepping and keep stocking food and any, anything that is related to prepping and survival. So, and today I came across BA 2.86, which is a uh, new virus. So let's see what's up with that. Um, if you are not, you can just Google BA 2.86 or Aries. Yeah, I'm gonna type it for you in here. Uh, BA 2.86, and Aries, uh, which, give me a second, I took a note actually. Um, okay, there it is, which also stands for XDB1.5. So if you wanna Google it for yourself, don't take my words. I'm just giving you the information that I have, but you're also welcome to look it up yourself. Don't just take my word for it. This is how we always do it here. I always provide whatever I know or I heard, and then you also can look it up yourself and see. Maybe you'll find even more than I did. But anyway, let's see who we got in the house tonight. Night. So, and they dropped the link. So if you wanna jump in the box, you're welcome to come up. If you wanna share something or you have any different topics, you're always welcome to come up. Um, so this is what I got so far, and just giving you my own opinion. I do believe we're going to see more volcanic eruptions happening. Hey, what's up, Irishman? Good to see you. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Um, So, in my opinion, I do believe there will be more disasters are on the way. Um, Now, on the Atlantic Ocean, there's 92L, 98L, and another one that I could not uh, recognize what kind of hurricane it is. But there are three hurricanes heading towards the U.S. They are between Africa and the U.S. right now. They are traveling towards the East Coast, so be aware of those as well. Um, but back to my opinion, like I said, I do believe we will see more disasters coming pretty soon. Um, just just get prepared. I mean, that is the best we can actually do. There's not much more. There's not much we can do about to change the situation. We just have to go through this storm with it. But just keep prepping. That is my best advice I can give. So, how you been, Irishman? I haven't seen you for a while either. I've been live a couple of times, but I didn't see you. Maybe you didn't get any notification since YouTube is so weird. I don't know. But I do hope you're doing okay. So, uh, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, see who else is gonna join us. I have just 7 minutes here right now. Being busy and being just missing you. Oh, I missed you too, bro. I'm glad you're doing okay. Um, yeah, it's just getting rougher and rougher. Things are getting more expensive. Uh, sure, anybody heard about gas prices going up? And I also put a list on my community page. Items that they are going up. Uh, so um, it's going to be a rough ride. I don't know what to say. But uh, and it's getting harder. Um, Things are getting more expensive. Just looking back to 2016 to 2019, where everything was uh, not saying normal, but it was easier, compared to now. Um, Everything is getting more expensive, especially if you are a new prepper. If you just starting prepping, it's gonna get more expensive. Everything. How you doing, Irishman?
Hey Pete, what's going on?
Not much. Just as always, only bad news. I wish I had good news, but it's always bad news. You know how it is.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
I was earlier on Devil Dog's channel, and he was saying, yeah, if you wanna jump in the box, don't bring up any bad news. I mean, uh, fortunately, I mean, if you're trying to avoid uh, reality, then okay, that's fine. But I think people have the right to know what's going on in this world.
and unfortunately, when you turn on the mainstream media, that view is very limited. It's the point of view
Right,
that they want to put
right.
out there.
Yeah. I think, you know, like I do remember when I started collecting prepping stuff. People would call me crazy, and I'm living in some type of different world and whatever. But I, time will tell, and it's showing me his real colors. It's getting worse, and um, people it's people's choice. Either they can close their eyes or look at reality in the naked eye. That's up to them.
Well, people will do what they do, and you got to
Right,
do what you got to do.
right, right. I mean, hey, uh, everybody has to do what they think is right for themselves. Just because it's right for me doesn't mean it's right for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've seen through the years, through my experiences. That's why I got involved with this. Things happen, and when they do, um, everybody's like in Maui saying that, hey, there's no government here to help, blah blah blah. And I feel for those people, and I think they're 100% correct. But on the other hand, too, through my experiences, you're on your own. You gotta, except for yourself and your family and
You
maybe
are
the people involved in your group.
101% right. Yeah.
So you gotta do what you gotta do, man. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody has their own experiences, And on the end of the day, they have to make a decision for themselves, But I don't think you can rely on government. Uh, that even if they didn't have so much going on, uh, I mean, they do have a lot going on with all these politics and disagreements between different countries and whatever. They're not going to be there for you. I have I have seen this for myself, uh, where I'm from, So uh, you are on your own, yeah.
Well, that's what shapes you. Your
Mhm.
experiences. And we've talked in
Right,
the past about what you've gone through, and it kind of led you down this road. And I have my experiences, but until people
right,
experience it for themselves, and it's bad enough, you can't make people do. I mean, I hear you every day preaching about prepping, and you're trying to do the right thing because you don't want other people to suffer like you did. But until they experience it and they kind of get it, there's really very little you can do to kind of convince somebody. They got to come to that
yeah.
conclusion.
I mean, a good example, I remember my father used to tell me that, I would love to play with fire. He's like, son, don't play with the fire. You're gonna burn yourself. I never listened to him till I burned myself. And that's when I said, oh, I will never play with fire again. And I think this is right now the same story here. People will not listen to when somebody said it till they experience it themselves. Um, that's not the way it is. But yeah, but things are getting rough, man. Did you hear about the, the Hurricane Hillary that is heading to California and the wildfire in Canada? Um, then the other wildfire in Hawaii. Man, there's a lot going on at the same time, and this is like mm, different kinds of directions that the wildfire is around. Even here in Texas, we had one in Houston, in the Houston area. There was some wildfire too. I don't know how big that was, but uh, I heard there was a wildfire too.
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping my eye on things. Been having a lot of issues, family issues and stuff like that. So I've been concentrating on that. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I've been trying to kind of keep my eye on everything, and everything's going on at the same time. And it seems like it's, they want to blame it on climate change, but it is what it is. I mean,
Right, right. We have our own opinions about that.
yeah. I mean, look, anything to help the environment, I'm for. But at a certain point, the stuff that they're trying to um, basically force us into electric cars, this, that, and the other thing. Um, from
Right,
my opinion, if electric cars are so good, don't force people into getting them. They'll buy it on their own. If you sell a good product,
right,
you
right.
don't have to make me do it. I want to buy it. I want to get it, and I think that's where they're getting it wrong. But they're making their money off it. They're all these people are on the ground floor, in my opinion,
Right,
solar companies, the battery companies, and unfortunately, they're they're pushing it because they got something to gain from it.
Right. I think when you start forcing people to something, this is exactly how people are gonna react the opposite of it. I mean, if you all you can do is just to offer it, I cannot force you to do anything. If I force you, you're going to do exactly the opposite. You're gonna say no to it. That's just common sense.
I just
Um,
don't understand how the average person can afford a new electric vehicle. I mean, they
right.
seem
That's another
kind of
story.
expensive.
Right. That's another story, Irishman. I mean, right now, people are even struggling living life right now without, you know, I call it be a luxurious thing. It's not something that everybody has. There are some people they don't have a vehicle. To try to get one is really hard for them. With with the cost of living that is going on right now, it's really difficult. Gas prices went up again, and food prices are going further up. And so, I don't know.
Well, you got to understand when you talk about gas prices, pretty much that affects everything. When you
Right.
talk about local food in the grocery store, it's bought there by truck. So, the higher fuel costs are, the higher the groceries are, and
Right.
so many other things.
You're
So,
going to see, I'm telling you right now, you're going to see pretty soon a huge difference in the food prices because of this hurricane. Uh, this hurricane is going to hit Southern California. And, as you know, most of the food comes from there. And when they are not able to deliver or anything, or they are short or whatever, they're going to raise the prices again. I'm, I'm definitely
yeah,
sure.
you could be right. I mean, time will tell for sure, but yeah, you could be right. Absolutely. You make a good point. I mean, if you look into the US and where food comes from exactly, depending on what it is. California, yes, is absolutely a big one. Florida, and there's a
Mm,
couple other states that you wouldn't think of
right.
that's that's also big in food production. So if you have a drought, you have something going on, it really affects everything else.
Welcome. Yeah. All right, I'll be back. I'm back here. I just opened
Okay.
quick. So yeah, this is gonna this is gonna affect the whole country. Just like when the farmers was told not to grow. Remember that? That's when everything started. Uh,
So
and
what's been going on with yourself there, Pete? Or what's new since I've been kind of missing your show there?
well, I have just a couple of stuff going on. Like I am in contact with my family members in Iran. You know, uh, over there, there's something else going on with this freedom. I don't know if you heard about this one girl that they killed uh, when when all the women went on and demonstrated on the streets. Over 18,000 people got executed, and even in different countries now, um, the um, the what is this, the World Union or so uh, complained about Iran, saying that this is against human rights to do stuff like that. Now, shut down 55,000 mosques, and some people even have burned in public the Islamic, the Quran, their Bible. And I've been talking to some of my cousins about that. Other than that, yeah, there's a lot going on with a bunch of disasters here and there, and food prices, price increases, rent increases. China's real estate market is crashing. Remember they had a big project in China where they were building those high-rise buildings. Their their uh, their currency, I mean their stock market is not doing well either. I think this is going to affect the whole globe. It's not just the U.S. or China or so. I think by 2025 we're going to see a global depression. Uh, the direction that we are heading to right now. I mean, there are no positive news at all. No matter what direction you look at, there's always something going on.
Well, when, all that stuff that you've mentioned, I have heard. That girl that was beaten in Iran, I did hear about that a while back ago, and it was it was so long ago, but you haven't heard anything mainstream on it. I know there was protests and stuff, and all the other
Right,
stuff.
because the reason why you didn't hear anything is because the government of Iran shut down the internet. Um, and there was for like a couple of months, I was not able even to get in touch with my family. And they're trying to keep it under the rug. They're not trying to go to the social media with all this. But if you are Iranian and you have family members, you will hear what's really going on. They're not going to put it in the news. Hey, how you doing, Naki? Long time no see. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, like I said, it's amazing. There's so much stuff going on. Normally, something
Right,
like that would be all over the news, but when you combine it with 20,000 horrible other things, it's
right. It's like we're getting bombarded, one bad news after another. And then the other update I have is that BA 2.86 or Aries or is even called as XBB 1.5, which is the new variant that the COVID has mutated to something else. They're saying they're trying to figure out something about that. And I do hope we're not going back to 2020, that they start with that, because that's going to completely crash the economy. Um,
it may happen because they
yeah,
have been
we've
giving
seen it in the
hints about
past,
that.
right? Because we've seen it in the past what happened. They shut down so many businesses. People got unemployed again because of all that. That's gonna be bad for everyone. What's up, Army of One? How you doing? So I think that would be a bad move if they decide to do that. That's
Well,
just that's just the way I see it.
well, you know what? I can't tell you that you're wrong, Pete. I mean, only time will tell for sure. I
I mean,
I
we
actually
are already in a bad shape if you really think about it. I mean, since just this year, okay, just in July last month, okay, 2,377 businesses got shut down. And we're not talking about a little bitty business owner who just got a loan from the government who opened the business or so. We're talking about like big companies, Best Buy, um, um, then even Walmart and Target, places like this, who are franchise in the entire nation. Um, 2,377 businesses got shut down. 370 bank banks have completely closed. So yeah, it is. It is. We are in a really really bad situation.
well, I definitely hear you. I agree with you that we are in a bad situation. It's just a matter of, well, how bad will it get, and
Right.
what's the time frame on that? Like, how long will it take? That's the biggest thing when COVID before COVID happened. I had a friend believe it
Right.
was the November before it actually happened, who was following all this stuff. And he
Mm-hmm.
predicted that was going to come here. And I was asking him, like, why do you say that? Blah, blah. He's like, look at the signs. Or look at what's going on over there. All it takes is one person to come over the plane. And we've been tracking COVID and everything else. And we've pretty much gotten it right. It's just, it's just a matter of the timing. For a while there when COVID happened, I thought there was going to be an economic, I don't want to say collapse, but economic problems. And what I did not know was that they were going to pump all this money, these checks to people. So then the economy went up there for a while, but the money ran out, and I think we're starting to see the effects of all that stuff now because you affected so many businesses.
Right.
Um, businesses shut down, and combine that with bad policies as far as the gasoline. Like for the longest
Yeah,
time,
I mean,
talking gas for the longest time, Biden's been pumping from the reserves and
right.
also selling
I
to China.
mean,
Now
think
it's running
about
out.
this. If they shut down banks, right, how do you get paid? I mean, is nobody paying you in cash? You know, unfortunately, we are in a type of system where everything is transactions going through the internet and through banks and all this. This is going to have a huge effect on everyone. And back to what you were saying with this global warming, now I am from Iran, and Iraq is from my neighbor is from Iran. I don't think it has anything to do with global warming. I believe it has a lot to do with the sun. And when you go look through history, um, our ancestors have always looked up to the sun, and that's what the problem. Our problem is the sun right now. And by 2024, October next year, by October 24, there is another planet coming to our sun system, which is going to have a huge effect with their electromagnetic fields pushing with our electromagnetic fields. Like we're going to see a big disaster coming up. I do believe that there is more than just economy collapse or politics war or so. I think there is way more behind all that. People just looking uh, at the small things. They don't look at the bigger picture yet. Um, that that's how I look at stuff. And I've
Well,
been talking about this for 3 years. For 3 years, I've been repeating myself. I don't know if he is my he's on my channel from day one. He knows what I'm talking about. Um, what do you say? That's true. Hardship is coming in 2024, and I am packing dry food as much as possible and buying a Honda generator soon. Bought two 55-gallon berries for gas. Will fill them soon. Our company bought 12 of them. Uh, generators for the rest of employees just increase. I have been prepping.
that's a very nice thing that person's doing.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry,
I don't know if
I
you heard
can't
about.
pronounce I can't pronounce that name, so I don't want to butcher it. But um, that's a very nice thing, and I think that's the only thing we can do. Like the people in the chat saying that they're doing things to um
Right,
get ready for what's coming. We don't
right,
know exactly how it's going to play out. I mean,
right,
there's so many different scenarios that Pete, everything you're saying could happen, or maybe it happens another way. And I think the only thing we can do is just have that preparedness where if you have food, water, the basics, pretty much
right.
that applies to all these situations. You need those things. So,
I really believe this, Irishman. I believe that the time will come where, usually, you say, I do whatever just to get a job, right? I think
mhm.
that's gonna flip to I do whatever if you give me food. That's where we are heading to. That's what I really believe. And Finland, I don't know if you heard about this, but Finland is preparing now. They have like a big storage in Finland where they keeping um, seeds, then food, and all kinds of prepping stuff for doomsday scenario because they do believe that they are heading that way. That's what Europe is doing now. I'm really
Did you
surprised
say?
that the
Did you
U.S. is
say?
not doing that.
Did you say Finland or Greenland?
No, Finland, Finland.
Okay, I didn't hear about Finland as far as the seas, but I know Greenland has a whole a place where they have every sea possible in
Mhm.
case of an end of the world scenario, and they want to kind of I guess start
Right.
over. But Finland, I haven't heard about, so that's I have to
Yeah.
look into that.
Yeah. This is new. I heard this like a couple of days ago. Um, and then last month it was snowing in Germany. I mean, hello, that doesn't even sound real anymore. In the middle of the summer it snows in Germany.
I know. I was reading the chat here. That person was saying that they're talking about the Maui fires. I wonder if that person lives on the island over there. I don't know where that person, I can't pronounce their name. Um, yeah, that person. I was
Anunnaki.
curious where they're at. I don't know if they'll
Yeah,
respond or
that's
not. But
Anunnaki. He's from Iraq. He's from my neighbor country.
oh, okay. So then he's not from that. Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. So you live out here in Tennessee. Tennessee's a great state. A lot of people moving down there. I'm afraid though they're going to mess it up for everybody. All those New Yorkers moving down there. You
Right.
know.
Yeah,
But
I have a friend who his name is Patrick. He's uh, here on YouTube too. Uh, he sold his house and then he moved to. I think he moved first to Minnesota, then he moved to Florida. Now he's in Texas, and he mentioned that he's going back to Nevada again. But a lot of people are on the move right now. Yeah. Uh, I think a lot of people are confused and really don't know what they should do. Also, I don't know.
well, I think when you look at all right, where I'm from in New York, people were born here and they made a living here, and economically it's tough with taxes, but you can make some money here. So you make your money, everything costs, it balances out because when you look at other parts of the country, yes, the cost of living is cheaper, but also the salaries. So when you look at New York, yeah, you're making some decent money, but everything's more expensive. So I
Mhm.
think once what you're saying with the economy and then more so the taxes, because like in New York, I know they're passing all these different things basically to generate revenue. And they're bleeding for money. Like the latest thing now is congestion pricing. So if you drive a vehicle in New York past a certain point south of, is it 50th Street in Manhattan, you're going to get taxed. They're going to have tolls. So basically, they're going to tax you. So if you're a person that lives in the suburbs, you have two choices. You pay the tax along with the gas and all that other stuff, or you take the railroad. And the railroad will cost you, I think, depending exactly where you are, probably about $300 or $400 a month.
Did you say
So
50 Street 50th?
I think, don't quote me on that, but somewhere like that.
I used to live 62 streets further up. I used to live on 112th Street West.
Okay. All right, I'm familiar. I mean, I'm not a city guy. I'm more of a
Yeah,
suburbs guy,
like
but
Spanish Harlem.
I know Spanish Home very well. I have
Yeah,
family that used to live over there. Have businesses over there. So I mean, it's way different now from what it was years ago.
yeah, that's a
But
long time ago. That was like in 2004, 2005.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. But it's fortunately, I think that's why people are moving out of these states because California moving like droves because they can't afford it anymore.
Yeah,
And
I
when you
heard
think
they're
about
getting double taxed. That's what I heard.
the policies, they're taking
Wh-
uh
Which is
and
really
all these.
stupid.
Say
Um,
again.
I said, which is really stupid. I mean, hey, this is my right. If I don't want to live here anymore, I just moved. What you mean? I need to pay now taxes? I ain't gaining out of it. Out of the
Well,
state.
I think that's the problem. Like a lot of people here are frustrated because with this thing with the southern border, all these migrants, immigrants, well, illegals, I should say, are moving in here.
Right,
And no, I know Pete, you're from a different country and you came here, and so did my parents. But the difference was you kind of did it the right way. When you think, look at these people, there's a lot of people trying to get up here just to work, and they're trying to do the right things. I see that, but then there's other people that what? They don't like the US, and are they bringing in drugs? Are they trying to do some bad things to us? You don't know
right,
when people just sneak in. And on top of
right,
that, you're putting them up in the hotels where people like myself, a taxpayer, has to pay for that. But meanwhile, our own citizens are homeless across the street, sleeping on a park bench. I mean, it just seems like it's like, if we can't take care of our own people, why are we taking on the other people and spending all this money, especially when we can't afford it. There's so many
right.
cons to it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think in my opinion, I think this country is making a big, big mistake. You know, if I cannot swim, I cannot save you while you are drowning. So I need to know first how to swim that I can save you. So instead of saving their own country, they're trying to save some other country. And that don't make sense to me. At all.
Well, I think our friend in the chat has it right. They've been trying to mess with Tennessee for the past 75 years. Laugh out loud, but we make things disappear in the woods down here. Our own thing going on. Very funny. But that's why I think people are moving, and Tennessee's appealing because
Right.
the laws are great
Yeah,
down
there
there.
was this, you know, Irishman. There was this one couple. They were immigrants, right? So their son was born in America, and then they were French. They decided to move back to Paris, to France, and then after 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 over 20 years, uh, this this boy who was born here received a mail from the IRS saying that he owes back pay on taxes, and he was just born in the U.S. He was a child, and the parents took him back home where the parents came from. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous crap I ever heard in my life.
I know that's funny. That's
Uh,
funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny.
I
Yeah, I
really
mean,
don't know at this point if I want to become an American citizen, to be honest.
well, you know what? You come here because you think that America's this great country, and we are a great country. I just think in the last X amount of years, we've been headed down a road that's kind of not the American way anymore.
I mean, that is
It's not
really
the America
scary
I
if
grew up
you
in.
think about it. Um, so, yeah, what if you do? What if something happened and you do want to go back to your country or whatever, or other country, and now you have to work harder and pay taxes twice?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think we're taxed. I think when you look at, we pay state tax, we pay federal tax, we pay county tax, we pay school tax, we pay sales tax.
Some tax.
Yeah, yeah. I think in general, I think we work from January to about July for free, and then the
Mm,
rest of the year the money's ours. When you look at what you pay out, I mean, it's
I
ridiculous.
think
And then when you look at what
because
we don't get nothing for it.
right. I mean, the government make up uh, some stuff up for themselves just to become rich. Not us. We are
I mean,
we are
if
just the slaves for them. We working our ass off. We don't even know for what.
Well, look at those people in Hawaii. You were talking about that before. They're getting a one-time check for, I believe, $700. That
Mm,
same week, they gave how many billions of dollars to Ukraine? And I'm not trying to say I'm for it or against it, but don't shouldn't we help out our own people? The people, I witnessed it when I was in a state, Superstorm Sandy. My town, not my state, my town got hit, rocked. Luckily, I was okay, but
Yeah,
people south of me, they
yeah.
lost their homes.
I am not against them either, and I am not for them either. All I can say only is if I cannot become strong, I cannot help you. If I am weak, how am I going to help? I cannot help you if I'm weak by myself. So I need to have some kind of power in order to be able to help others.
You know what, Pete? That's a great statement you just made. If we're weak, how are we supposed to help others?
Right. I mean,
And
how can you
financially,
do
we're bleeding.
this? Yeah,
We're in debt, and we're giving out more money, and it's like you cannot do these same things over and over and over. It's insanity, but we
right.
seem to do that. So it's kind of you got to question it. These politicians aren't that stupid. They know what they're doing. So it's like kind of like, well, what's the end game? Why are they doing it then? I can't
Right.
answer that.
I mean, when I look back to Germany, because that's where I came from, right? So, Germany, for example, have the guilt for what they've done in the war, right? So now they welcoming every immigrant is welcome to Germany, right? So now the glass is full, right? Now they are thinking about to cut on money for they have this type of system where the government pay your rent and your bills and your health insurance and stuff like that. Now they're thinking about to cutting all this. Now everybody has a purchasing power to a certain point. When that power is gone, there is not much you can do. I mean, it has nothing to do with you are racist now because you don't want to help me because I am brown or whatever. Hey, everything has a limit. Hey, can we have a saying in my language? We say, you can pull the blanket as long as it can cover your feet. If you can pull it too much up, your feet is going to get cold. So and this is going to be a problem. I mean, this country right now is in big trouble financially. They cannot help uh, other countries, but they keep doing it. So that don't make sense.
Well, I think it's just my own personal opinion. It's just based on myself, but I think they're at the point now where they know it's gonna collapse in on itself. So just recently they came up with this Fed Now system, which I think will lead to other things, the digital dollar down the road and all this.
Right.
But I guess that's why I guess they don't care about spending all this money because it's gonna go away anyway. Pete, I have to step away, so I'm gonna say good
All right.
night to you. But it
It
was
was
great
nice
talking to
talking to
you.
you.
Hey,
Good
and
to see you
you
again.
gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent on the times, man. I love listening to you when I'm working, and I miss it. But and every time I look,
Appreciate
I'm
that.
like, I
Yeah,
just missed him. Damn.
I've been lately busy. I started doing digital portraits. Um, Besides that, I design clothing. That's why I haven't been lately that often live. So I apologize for that.
No need to apologize. But like I said,
Right,
when I'm working, it's a kind of nice to listen in and talk, and every once in a while, maybe I can chime in here and there,
right.
and it's always good to listen to you. So I miss listening to you. So be good. I hope everything's good, and maybe
Thank
I can
you.
catch you a
Same
little
to
bit
you and
more.
your family. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, Pete.
Yeah, good night. Uh, State of TN also grants free healthcare. You pay it in taxes, but you will get it free after age 55. Social Security welfare is not permanent, only up to 2 years, and you must get a job. Uh, yeah. So how you been? Yeah, like you heard me saying that I've been really busy uh, designing digital portraits. That's what where I got into now. Um, been doing this now for like uh, yeah less than a year, I would say. So, but yeah, it is. It is a lot going on. Unfortunately, we will see where this is heading to. But if you're not prepared, then I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna be in big trouble. That's the way I see it. But people can do whatever they want to do. Whatever is good for the way they see is good for them. I'm still, I'm always strong as long as I'm standing on my two legs, Anunnaki. uh, so, been working on some of my father's work, mixing them with my own ideas. That's what I've been doing. So, what time is it? Okay, it's 8 p.m. Yes, time to make some lunch, dinner, I mean. So, thanks everybody for being here. Yes, yes, they are very precious, yes. Yeah, because, I thought, um, instead of let them sit there, let me do something with it. So, and I actually did something. If if you want, I can share it with you. Let me just find it very quick. Um, I did design something. I actually designed my whole life. Let me see, where do I have it? Um, very deep and very strong message in his work. I love them all. That respect. Thank you. Thank you. Um, let's see, is it here? Yeah, there you go. Here's one I can show you very quick. This is what I did a couple months ago. Um, there you go. There you go. This is what I did that day. So I basically put my whole life story in this painting. So it it's a chaos, like my whole life story is in this painting. So yeah, it's been where I'm heading almost to be 4 years here on my live stream. Uh, didn't know it's gonna be that long. you know, been been a long time now. But you know, there are only a few people coming here. Most likely the old people, the people who actually know me uh, for a while now. Yeah, yeah. I just put it the way I actually see it. On, um, war, destruction, food shortage, uh, escaping, death, war, politics, all in one. Yeah. Who was it? I think it was Cat Without the Hat. He actually told me um, why I don't write a book about my life. I said that it's not just me. There are millions of us who went through this. Some some had less issues, some had more issues. But we all went through it. But it's only people from the Middle East who went through this. But even other countries who had political conflicts with different countries. I mean, people in Vietnam have seen it. People in China have seen it. People in the Middle East have seen it. People in Europe even have seen it. Now I don't know if they are still alive, but we all went through it. So yeah, see, that is the reason why I have a problem with chat. No matter what I tell them, they're not gonna understand it. Uh, I mean, they pretend to understand it, but they don't understand. You don't understand it if you have not walked in my shoes. It's that simple. So, and I really hate when they say I understand. No, you don't understand. Uh, you understand if you walk the same path. But that's when you're going to understand it. Other than that, you don't understand nothing. Nothing of what I say. No, they don't believe anything. It's for them hard to believe. Like they think, I tell them a good night story or so. Like it's like a once upon a time story or so. No, this is reality, my friend. Uh, I don't make up anything. Uh, scars don't lie. And I got plenty of them on my back. So that's the problem. But anyway, I have to go and make some dinner. It was good talking to you. So stay safe, stay strong, stay blessed, and as always, 300 up, up.